You ready to rock? What are you doing?
Getting ready. Loosening up.
Getting loose. I don't look like I'm getting loose.
Yeah.
I look like I'm getting like I'm running in my chair.
You look like the little gopher that does like the little Christmas dance.
Thanks for that.
Or
pal.
the Caddyshack. The Caddyshack.
The
gopher.
Caddyshack dance. Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm
welcome to episode 6. My name is Pokey Scout.
I'm Genelite Gaming.
And this is Critical
Hitz.
We'll get there someday, guys, I promise. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said,
No, we won't.
Welcome. He's
No, we
right.
won't.
He's 100% right. Welcome to episode 6 of the podcast. We are going to start this out with a little Crown Zenith rip. Hey,
$15. Like and subscribe, because Scout's going broke off this.
It's a $15 pack, Genelac. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Okay, here we go. I don't want to show anybody what we're going to get, but I mean, dude, if I pull gold right now, I'll be so happy. But I can see a little bit. Do you see?
Pull the Arceus.
Bro, do you see
pull
some
the
shine?
V-Star.
Do you see shine? I think I see something in the second slot. I can't tell.
I see something.
Do you see something? Pancham. Come on.
Something. Pancham.
No, I see a reverse.
It's a Bidoof.
Oh.
Hey, okay.
I mean, it's a hit. It's a hit.
Remember when we used to get excited for pulling Vs?
Bro, I'm still excited about pulling a V, but Stoutland is the most popular V card I've pulled out of Crown Zenith. Can you name another V card from Crown Zenith? Right now. Do it.
No.
Okay.
I can't.
Do you remember we were buying Crown Zenith off the store shelves in the boatloads because people were like, Crown Zenith is crap, you know? It's not that good compared to every other alt-art set, right? And it was, I could buy Crown Zenith packs for $2.75 up till I'd say like 8 months ago.
Yep. I mean, you really take those times for granted.
We do, considering the fact that Pokemon might just be the largest hobby in the world, especially when we just saw the news of, what's his name? I'm going to get it wrong. Simon Cowell. Yeah, from America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Tell me more about this.
Yeah, well, not just America's Got Talent. Like, he was American Idol as well, and he does the London or England's Got Talent as well. I mean, Simon Cowell's a huge name, right,
Absolutely.
in, like, the acting space. And he's just one of, like, a billion names that are, like Waka Flocka is doing a bunch of stuff with Collecticon. There's a bunch of football players that are super into the hobby. Like, here's what I'll say. Pokemon's not going anywhere, folks. Like, the people with all the money love the hobby, too.
Give me some money!
So there is so much money in this hobby that it's, like, ridiculous. So you have the popularity across the masses, and you have just these huge investors in the hobby that are, like, very, very popular. Like, Logan Paul is kind of what started it, but no, man, Steve Aoki, Simon Cowell now, a lot of these, like, basketball players like Grant Williams, football players. I mean, this is crazy. I do think it's the biggest. I think it's the biggest hobby in the world. Genuinely, I do.
Yeah, I don't know what other hobby really competes with it outside of Magic the Gathering. I think One Piece, though. You know, there's a guy that popped up on Instagram and TikTok that said, I'm trading my 7-figure Pokemon collection for One Piece, and his entire mindset behind it is One Piece is a bigger manga, it's a bigger anime, and it's loved by both children and adults. And the fact that the first set came out 2 years ago, or whenever it did, correct me if I'm wrong, that he is getting in on the ground floor of One Piece, which is why he's abandoning Pokemon, you know? I don't know if he's actually abandoning it. He said he's trading his 7-figure Pokemon collection, but when you have a collection like that, dude, there's no way you get rid of everything that you've worked so hard and paid a lot of money to get. You know, I can't see that happening.
No, I mean, I think One Piece is going to continue to grow in popularity because they're doing this remake as well. Like, they're doing an entire repacing and everything, and I think it's good, but Pokemon is the largest media franchise in the world. I'm sorry, you're not they're bigger than Disney. It's not happening. Like I love this guy's chutzpah, but, like, no, there's no way. Like, One Piece cards are never going to be worth more. They're not.
Yeah. And I will say, dude, that Silver Luffy or that Ghost Rare Luffy, whatever they call it, woo!
Yeah.
Clean, bro. I mean, that's a good looking card, and I do like that whole dynamic of their alternate arts. But no, I agree with you. Pokemon is the biggest media franchise in the world, and it's probably the most loved by all ages, because there are some ages that just won't get into anime. Well, anime. Yeah, I can't believe I just said that. Yeah. There are some.
He's a professional.
There are some age groups that won't get into anime, based on them just thinking it's still for nerds, it's still for geeks, it's still for gooners. And so I'm telling you though, Pokemon needs to nut up and create an anime that is directed towards its older audience. I am telling you, it would be the most watched anime of all time if they did a little bit more into the world of like Team Rocket, into the villainy, into the give us a character that is actually struggling. How does Ash travel for free? Answer me that. Where does he get the money from? Is his mother rich? I want to know the simple things. Does he pay taxes?
Mr. Mime, bro.
Mr. Mime's printing money, dog. But I want to know these answers.
Mr. Mime, bro. Mr. Mime's like Benjis, just popping out Benjis, baby.
That's what I'm saying. I want an anime that answers these questions for me, right? I just want what I relate a little closer to, because I can go back and watch, the Kanto, the Johto journeys, the Hoenn in Advanced. I can rewatch all of that and enjoy it as I did when I was a kid. I want something to relate to where they give me a 26-year-old Pokemon trainer with a bad back and bad knees. Okay? That's what I'm asking for. Is that so much to ask? I'm just tell me. I think that would be super freaking cool.
I don't think it's out of the question. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it's out of the question. I think Pokemon has such a greenfield opportunity to just they can do whatever they want. Yeah. This is why I keep saying Pokemon's never gonna die, because to your point, they could continue with this new series, right? They continue with the children's series. They have the plushies. They have all the, the clothes. Like, they could sell in any medium, right? They got toys, clothing, video games, collectibles. Yes. So they have all that covered, and they can hit any age right now. They can continue with their track because it is a children's game, but it has a huge adult following and frankly elderly following now, right? There are some individuals who play Pokemon Go. Most of my Pokemon Go friends that are the absolute beasts are retired people.
Yeah.
If you listen here, listen, if I'm going to give you one tip, if you find a bunch of retired people playing Pokemon Go be friends with them, because their accounts are going to blow your mind. They travel
Aunt Myrna at level 50.
Seriously, it is like there's this group down, I call them the Poke Grandmas, because they're down south of me. And it's a bunch of grandmothers, and they got into the game because of their kiddos, and they, like, this other one just recently went to Osaka, Japan for Pokemon Go Fest, and then she went to Ottawa and played global with Pokédaxi, one of the biggest Pokemon Go streamers. So, like, these ladies are legit. They're legit. Dude, I don't even know. Sorry, I don't know how we got to that, but I had to say my piece. Shout out Fortune Cookie.
Shout out Fortune Cookie.
Graham Cat, Fortune Cookie, y'all are the best.
Dude, no, I mean, we were talking about the size of the media franchise that is Pokemon, and I think Pokemon Go is the greatest example for that, of how, it brings together all ages. I mean, my aunt is, and I said Aunt Myrna, she's my great aunt. She's my abuela's sister, right? So she's in her 80s, and she loves Pokemon Go, bro. Every family event we go to, we do a lucky trade. But not to, get off of what we were talking about.
No, but this is a good example. Yes. This is a good example of Pokemon is the most... Everybody plays at all ages, and they find what they like. It could be the video game. It could be the mobile games like Pocket and Go. It could be the cards, like what we talk about a lot here. It is the biggest hobby in the world.
No, I agree. And I will not get off this soapbox of we need an adult version, and I'm not talking about Gooner anime. I am just talking about an anime, a slice of life piece of Pokemon that is just, here's a guy in his 20s, bad back, he can't compete with the 10-year-olds that are catching Suicune with a freaking Pokeball. I want to understand this. I want to understand the troubles of those in the Pokemon world, like Brock. I would love to see what Brock is up to right now.
No, I'm cutting you off. You're missing Larry. Give me an anime on Larry.
Hey.
I had to stop you. I was like, Larry deserves it.
That's totally fair. I think Larry is... Who else would you do? You know what? No. I want the guy that solely came to the Pokemon anime to crush Ash's dreams of becoming a master in Hoenn. What was his name?
Was that Paul?
No, he popped out with the Darkrai and then the Latios, and then we never heard from him again. What was his name?
Yeah, that's... Tobias.
Tobias. There you go.
Yep. Bias just popped up with a bunch of mythicals and legendaries.
Yeah, but it's like, what other Pokemon did he have? How did he get those Pokemon? Why did he feel the need to crush people's souls? And how come in every other Pokemon tournament ever, we never see other legendaries? Like, it was just
Who hurt
this
him?
one. Yes, that's what I'm saying, though. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think Pokemon is already making enough money. They already have enough people that are brainstorming these ideas. There's a reason they haven't done this yet. Just tell me the reason. Tell me the reason. Tell little old me and my buddy Genelac the reason why you don't want to give us something so simple, right? And then you won't even let other people write fan fiction without suing the dog shit out of them. Okay?
Well, you know, I mean,
come on.
They're totally going to listen to us.
They're not going to listen to us, but I mean, it'd be kind of nice. You know what I mean? Be kind of enjoyable.
I mean, they're not going to listen to us, right? I would love an anime, especially since it's the most we've now agreed it's the most popular hobby in the world, which attracts businesses. Scout. With popularity comes money.
I like money.
And our next topic is right around pretty big company coming out and wanting to collab with Pokemon.
What collab is it?
Razer.
Ooh, like the headphones, like the keyboards.
Yeah,
and stuff. You know
keyboards,
me, I'm not much of a gamer.
headphones, as he streams on a computer.
you see? Okay, first off, you see his fancy headphones? Look what I'm rocking here. Yeah, look, I think isn't that the Razer logo?
Yep, these are Razer.
Me and my $35 headphones. Yeah, dude. Okay, tell me more about
Hey,
this.
I need them.
Oh, the comfort of your earlobes. I'm sorry.
It used to be so I was playing a lot of Overwatch 2, and I wanted to be able to hear stuff.
What's wrong with my headphones? You couldn't hear out of my headphones?
Let's just, we're not going to talk about your FPS, your first-person shooter prowess.
All right, you know what? Enough of this. Okay, continue.
Mr.
I
Non-gamer.
like my 2D games. I'm still out here playing Soul Silver. All right, don't mess with me. Back into the Razer conversation before I start feeling very bad about myself. Okay, Razer company makes keyboards, mouses, computer, and whatever headsets. What's the deal with this collaboration?
Beginning, middle, end. Facts, details, condense, plot, tell it.
It's going to be pretty sick. So, Razer, they've announced this stuff throughout the world already, and none of it's come to the US yet. But yeah, there's like an entire Gengar set where there's Gengar headphones, Gengar keyboard. So it has like parts of the Pokemon tied to it. So like on the headphones, there's little Gengar ears.
Yeah.
And it's like the color of the Pokemon. The other one that's really interesting to me that I think is going to do really well is the EV Pikachu keyboard. Specifically because obviously it's a high-end mechanical keyboard because it's made by Razer. It's probably not going to be cheap, I'm not going to lie. But it has the color tones of both of the Pokemon kind of strewn throughout. One of the things that's really popular in the hobby, I haven't gotten into this yet, is there are like keys and space bars made that have like Pokemon either inside of them or painted on them. So people decorate their keyboards. It's really cool.
Are you one of those guys that spends a lot of money on like, working on your keyboard and your mouse? I mean, because I've got this. Welcome to my fancy keyboard.
I mean,
my fancy Office Depot mouse, but like I've just never been that person that spends the money on that. And as cool as Pokemon collaboration is and will be, I just don't justify the money required to spend, because that how much do you think that keyboard is going to cost coming out?
Oh, it'll be more than $200. It'll probably be in that $200 to $400 range.
Absolutely not.
I don't know. It depends on your hobbies, right? Like, I love Pokemon, but as you know, like, I'm a former, Dota 2 professional player, and I've played at a very high level some serious, as you say, gooner video games. So, like, I've invested in stuff because of that, right? Like, I have the Logitech like Lightspeed mouse, which I love that. I have like the Logitech Lightspeed keyboard because I went with like an all-white setup too. Like, I have a video on my personal YouTube of me building my Whitewater PC from back in the day. So yeah, I mean, it depends on what you like to do, right? It's just another way for, again, we keep talking about this. Pokemon just continues to find ways to market themselves to new individuals. So individuals who love Pokemon and love gaming setups, this is going to be perfect for them.
You know what? I think I judged too quickly, because you know what I just realized is, as these collaborations come out, for people that do play the VGC and people that do play the ROM packs and stuff like that, they enjoy that. And that's the same, what am I trying to say? The same tools, the same accessories right? That I would use a part of the TCG, right? Like a deck box. I've got a couple of deck boxes or a playmat that, are geared towards like certain pictures or Pokemon or whatever. So, I take that back. I do take that back. I'm sorry I spoke out of my ass there. No, that was definitely I got to reorganize my thinking, right? Like a keyboard, customizing your keys. It's like, sleeves. It's like sleeves for your deck. Yeah. And then a playmat's like the keyboard. And so, okay. I'm sorry. I totally get that now.
Well, people get really into it. They do a whole theme for their whole desk setup, and they do the artwork. Like, they'll do whole rooms that are, themed around their PC.
That's totally fair. I'm sorry that I was so judgmental. I don't know what got into me today.
Yeah, he's sorry, chat. It's okay. Yeah. You know what? Comment down below if you have anything Pokemon related as a part of your setup, right? Most people have a gaming setup, even if it's just a laptop. What do you guys got?
But hey, you know what? Actually, I do want to start something real quick because we already said it. Genelac, agree or disagree? My TCG setup or a TCG player's setup is the equivalent to a gamer's desktop accessory setup. 3, 2, 1. Agree.
Yeah, I think so. It's cheaper. It's probably, well, let me put it this way. It's actually probably not cheaper because you have multiple playmats, multiple deck boxes, etc. Like, once you get something set up on, like, a keyboard and that kind of stuff, I know very few people, but some have multiple keyboards. That has never made sense to me.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that because if you're buying a $250 keyboard, my playmats are not, $100 a piece, right? My playmats,
no, they're like $20.
Ones, yeah, so I can get custom ones off of Alibaba or Etsy, for $20 to $30, right? So I can have a ton. I can have 10 to 15 playmats, for the price that you would buy one keyboard, right? And then as far as like deck boxes, dude, there are some like 3D printed deck boxes that you can get, they pull out the dice and damage counters and they fit in really nice and neat, and it's so cool. So yeah, and those usually run about $30 to $40, right? Totally depends on what you want to buy. But yeah, no, I think that is absolutely of equivalence. And I'm so sorry for judging and being an asshat.
They will forgive you. But you just did a lead in to one of our favorite series. It's time to play Agree or Disagree. Oh, don't do that now. We will get sued if you use that.
I'm not editing it out.
We'll have to come up with our own jingle. We gotta come up with our own jingle.
I don't know. That was too good. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Agree or Disagree segment, and we do have one hot tamale today for Agree or Disagree. And chat, it's about our favorite legendary Pokemon, Lugia. Genelac, agree or disagree? The first edition Neo Genesis Lugia is the greatest Lugia artwork of all time. 3, 2, 1. Disagree.
Disagree.
Why do you disagree, buddy?
I mean, I knew as two Lugia stans, we are true Lugia connoisseurs, chat. While the first edition is the most valuable, it's not the best card. It's just not. Like, Secret Wonders is a great artwork. I would even argue Silver Tempest is probably a better artwork than first edition Lugia. The Delta species that we both want so badly would definitely be better.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
No, I can think of 3 or 4 that are better from an artwork perspective.
In my opinion, if someone were to ask me off the rip what my top 3 Lugia artworks of all time are, I'd have to go number 1, the Aquapolis Lugia. Just doesn't compare to anything else. And you can disagree with me here, but number 1, I would go Aquapolis Lugia. Number 2, I would go bottom half of the Heart Gold Soul Silver Legend cards. I think that is a very menacing, perfect artwork for the Guardian of the Seas. And then number 3, man, that Unseen Forces EX Lugia. Holy cow, bro. That is a gorgeous artwork, and I will say that is interchangeable in my mind with the alternate art from Silver Tempest, but those are my 3. Easy.
You know what? And I'll throw it out there real quick. It's not always about value. The regular Lugia V from Silver Tempest, if you would have made that rarer, that artwork is freaking sick. The realism is absolutely dope. It's awesome.
I do like the V-Star version, though.
I don't like it as much as the V.
Really?
Again, the detail of the water around the V, I really challenge everybody to go look at that card.
Chat, we did just knock out Lugia. Genelac, agree or disagree? The Skyridge Gengar is the greatest Gengar artwork of all time. 3, 2, 1. Disagree.
Disagree.
Why do you disagree,
Yeah,
buddy?
it's kind of the same thing again. Like, Skyridge is an amazing set, don't get me wrong. You know I'm partial to trainers. Like, the Sabrina's Gengar is absolutely stunning to me. And if you want, like, value as a part of the argument, Sabrina's Gengar, I think, is more valuable, too. And there's just better Gengar cards.
Which one do you think is better off the top? Now, I would say that the best Gengar artwork of all time, and it's just not close, is the Gengar Level X. And the reason is because what they were able to do in such a small space, right, to make it look like it's holding a Shadow Ball, while also giving the immense detail of the eyes, that bloodthirsty half blood moon Gengar piece. It's just, that is a gorgeous artwork. I don't care what anybody has to say. That is in my running of top 3 Gengar cards of all time, if not being the number 1.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, like, my top one is actually Gengar Prime from Triumphant.
Okay.
It's a very similar concept, right? Small area. It's not a full art, but it's a prime card. Super sick in the first place. And I love Gengar when he's got his tongue out. I think Gengar with his tongue out, like, I really do. I feel like that perfectly encapsulates his personality, right? And he's got, like, that glint in his eye, too. It just has so much personality in that card. I love that card. You had to make it gross. You had to make it gross.
Whoa, come on. Look, somebody else is going to watch this and think the same thing that I thought. It wasn't just me.
I didn't mean it that way.
Well, okay, look, here's what I'll say, guys, because I know somebody's going to jump in the comments and jump our ass and say, what about the All-Star Tag Team Gengar and Mimikyu? Well, you know what? That's a Gengar and Mimikyu card, okay? So, shove it. Because
I still don't think it's better.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
I will say this. Dark Gengar from Neo Destiny is crap.
He's right.
It's crap. It's a stupid card.
I don't think it's stupid, but I do think that it missed the mark. I do think they were really leaning into that ghost appeal, and they missed it by a mile. Yep. What was our other agree or disagree? Was that it?
I feel like we should do my favorite. Well, one of my favorites. Okay. I think we should do Dragonite.
Ooh.
And specifically, Scout, agree or disagree? The Expedition Dragonite is the best Dragonite card of all time.
3, 2, 1. Disagree.
Disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Okay.
Thank God he didn't agree. I was a little worried.
Dude, we haven't agreed with we need to pick one that one of us agrees with at some point. But no, I mean, it can't be. Listen, Expedition Dragonite is a great card. It's super cute. But you can't beat the You can't. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, okay? Fossil Dragonite is the GOAT. It's too good. It has the cute. It has the whole body. No. That's why. Well, I'll give you one reason, Scout.
I'm sorry. That was too good. I got a headache. Whew. Funny, right? Yes, I agree that the Expedition is not the greatest of all time, but that Fossil Dragonite is adorable. No, I probably wouldn't put the Fossil Dragonite above the Expedition. Not gonna lie to you. It's a hot take.
What?
I can't. I would not put the Fossil Dragonite above the Expedition Dragonite. What I will put above the Expedition Dragonite is the Light Dragonite from Neo Destiny, and then the Dark Dragonite from EX Team Rocket Returns. I'm undecided about the Alternate Art Dragonite V. I think I'll put the Alternate Art Dragonite actually below Expedition, or tied with it. I don't know.
I will say the other one we didn't even mention is Dragonite EX too, which I actually think would be competitive with Expedition. So no, I don't think it's the best.
The Dragonite EX is a little bit out of its realm here. Just because all you see is really its tummy and its chin.
That's fair. I love the border, though.
No, I like the border, right? I like the E-Series border, but that's our same argument with the Charmeleon from EX Dragon, where the Charmeleon's flying away and you only see its backside, right? That's one of the artworks you don't like. I would compare the Dragonite EX to that card every single day of the week. But what I will say is the Championship Staff Dragonite promo, it's like a $500 card, guys. You probably haven't seen this. I'll put it right here, hopefully. That is a gorgeous artwork. It encapsulates the, essence of a big, fat, lovable dragon. You know what I mean? Like, Dragonite is not...
Chat better agree with me. I worked hard for this one.
Oh, shit. Chat, if y'all don't, I won't hate you, but I will love you forever if you make that go viral. I will love you every
don't do
day
that.
of the week. My
Don't do
people.
that.
Dude, that is awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's segment of Agree or Disagree.
Agree or disagree.
Round of applause.
I'm still working on
for,
the
Genelac there.
working on the jingle.
You're working
on the jingle.
I don't know. How should the jingle go? Should it go agree or disagree?
Or like agree or disagree. I don't know what I was doing with the head thing.
I don't know what you were doing with the head thing. You kind of
Let's move
had me at the. You had me at the. But the. Guys, we have way too much fun on this podcast. But no, dude. Okay. One of the things that I want to talk about, because this did just remind me, we were talking about dragons, right? You did talk to, chat in the beginning, going over the schedule for the podcast, and dragon Pokemon. That is the theme for the next couple of months, man, because of Black Bolt and White Flare. And I want to ask your honest opinion. Do you think that the whole two-set thing in English is a good thing, is a bad thing? I don't know how to feel about there being two completely different sets with no booster boxes and 65 art rares per set and only 5 special illustration rares per set. What are your overall thoughts?
We already can't get product, bro. Straight up, how the heck are we supposed to get cards? Okay, the two set thing, it doesn't matter. It was either going to be a huge, massive set, like one set, like Fusion Strike, or the two sets. But now the problem is you have to buy that specific set. So if one is more popular than the other, and we've seen this with like the Japanese stuff too, if one ends up being more popular than the other, not only is it going to be hard to get overall, but if one's more popular, that's going to be impossible to get. And to your point, there's no price per pack here. Like, we've talked about this on the channel before. Booster boxes are the #1 price per pack, followed by booster bundles. Getting an ETB is great because you could see the set list, you get the stuff, you could put your extras in the box. But if the ETB is your best price per pack, I'm not gonna lie to you, Scout. I could see this set, the price per pack be like $20 a pack.
Well, you do realize that the majority of these, big companies that don't call themselves scalpers, they are charging $90 in ETB right now for pre-orders.
That's $10 a pack.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is that's what they are charging. Why are you doing that? And the idea for Pokemon to not want to put as many product options that are available for Black and White drives me freaking crazy. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to drop more pin collections as soon as the mega sets come out. Then they're going to drop more. It's going to be the same thing that Crown Zenith was. We saw Crown Zenith in stores up till about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
I promise we did. And
honestly,
Walmart had that big drop of the Rayquaza and the Kyogre V boxes, and you could buy massive amounts of Crown Zenith. And I think they're going to end up doing the same thing with Black Bolt and White Flare, and it's aggravating. It's exactly what you said, because the markup that Pokemon has on ETBs has got to be insane, because you're essentially buying the accessories that you don't need, honestly. Right? I mean, if you saw their breakdown, what do you think it costs to make a pack of Pokemon cards? I'm going to say to make one pack of Pokemon cards, it costs 65 cents.
I would agree with that. Somewhere between 65 and 80.
I would say 65 cents to create a pack of Pokemon cards. You throw 9 of those bad boys in there, that's about $6.50, right? $7.
Yep.
And then the dice, they're plastic dice. They probably cost 10 cents to make. And then you've got the pamphlet, whatever. All in all, you're probably making this ETB for $12. And then you're charging distribution. We'll say distribution prices are what? $25. Then you're charging, the retail $35, and then whatever.
Well, it's just wasteful.
Yes.
I'll be honest, it's just wasteful. Like, you do not need more than one. The whole point of an ETB is it's a starter kit for somebody to start playing the TCG. Yep. That's why they have the damage counters in there, the dice. Like, the only thing you're missing is a playmat, right? Like, you could go play a game it's got energy cards in there. It's so wasteful. Dude, you throw away so much stuff.
Yeah, nobody wants that stuff. Even the energy cards. I don't understand what they're doing with this, and I'm as aggravated as you are, because Black Bolt and White Flare is going to be the same exact thing that Crown Zenith was in Sword and Shield, right? It's going to be the big hoorah. People are going to love a few of the cards out of it, like the Zekrom and the Reshiram are the Arceus and Giratina. And
it could be better. I want to be very clear. It could be better. Like, we've talked about this before. We said Crown Zenith was the second best set, and Evolving Skies was the first best set of Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on the limb and say Black Bolt White Flare could beat out Prismatic.
I will tell you right now that Black Bolt and White Flare is better than Prismatic.
And better than 151. I think we're looking at possibly the best set.
I would agree. I do not think that 151, and I will tell all you 151 lovers this, 151 is not that good. Like, it's not the greatest set of the Scarlet and Violet era.
No,
don't let the nostalgia, and those of you that got back into Pokemon because of 151, I am super happy for you. Okay, I will tell you that all day. I'm glad you're back with us. It's not the best set. It really isn't.
It's a top 3, top 4. It's a great set.
I would say top 4. In my opinion, it is top 4. But Black Bolt and White Flare, I think, will be deserving of the number 1 spot. And it's because some of these art rares, dude, look so good. I mean, they look ridiculous. And you've got 4 returning illustrators that have been illustrating cards since base set. They are showing Gen 5 some love, man. And
they brought out some heavy hitters.
Exactly, right? And some of these sets that do really well are because of the illustrators. And guys, I'll link down below some of the illustrators for these upcoming artworks and these art rares, especially if you guys do like illustration-based binders or illustrator-based binders, because they're just so good. You gotta stop overlooking them. But yeah, dude, I think Black Bolt and White Flare is going to be the best set of the Scarlet and Violet era, and I think it is something that we are going to struggle to get our hands on, and I don't know if I really want to get my hands on that product. I think I'm going to focus on singles.
You might have to. For our friends who are investors in the space, like, you might have to pay a premium and it might just be worth it. I'll be honest with you. It depends on printing allocations. Obviously, this is all speculation. Do not take this as financial advice. Blah, 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 blah. Seriously, I think there's a chance here you see Black Bolt and White Flare be team up. Straight up.
Ooh.
Like, I really, it depends on how much they print. It does. But if they keep this to a normal allocation with, what is it, like, is it 120 or 150 art rares?
It's roughly that. It's like 130.
If it's 150 art rares, the pull rates are going to be amazing because of that. Mm-hmm. It's essentially a special set, and it has, for the first time in a long time, colored cards, aka a full black and a full white card, which we haven't seen since like the all red Victini or whatever. I think that this could be an extremely valuable set. And so if you're an individual who wants to go out and invest in something, you might have to have some upfront money. But reminder, it's a risk. Because if they print the crap out of it like they did Shining Fates, you're rarely going to see returns. You're going to have to wait a long time, etc. But I think that the set is going to explode. I do. I really feel strongly about that. But to your point, I don't think the time to buy is on release. No. I think they're going to release big premium collections of this during Mega Evolution. And now you have a little bit of luck in the sense that people are going to be focusing on Mega Evolution, and hopefully you can grab some Black Bolt White Flare.
Yep, I 100% agree, and I think that's what they're going to end up doing. And here's what I'm really excited about is when they roll into this next set, right? This whole mega series coming out. I'm losing my mind thinking about all the product they're going to throw together that does have Prismatic in it, Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade, because I think they are going to release some premium collections that are going to have sets like Twilight, Prismatic, Destined, Journey Together, and maybe even Black Bolt White Flare. But those are the boxes that I'm going to want to buy lots of because those are good sets, right? I know we haven't given a lot of love to Twilight Masquerade lately, but Twilight Masquerade is a pretty solid set. It's not the worst one, it's not the best one, but it does have good pull rates. And so when you throw, these last 5 or 6 sets that we've had into pin collections, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna be all about it.
And honestly, those pins might do pretty well. Zekrom and Reshiram are very popular Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So like people might want those pins. Like I have a pin backpack for Pokemon Go, so people are gonna want the pins too. Like it's, I don't know. Maybe we're overhyping this. I really feel like this set is. It's sad. I'm almost sad to say it, but like you're probably looking at on average 30% over MSRP. to get your hands on this at pretty much any time. I don't know if you get this set for MSRP ever.
Honestly, I think you're kind of undershooting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 30%
I mean,
is far too optimistic, bro. I mean, I'm telling you, some of these bigger creators that, you know, say they're not scalpers, say they're not this. I mean, they are charging almost $100 per ETB.
It depends on what the distributors are probably going to bump up price too, but I do still think it's going to be.
I'm not saying it's a result of just them. I'm saying in general, Pokemon is seeing the demand, and they are going to go after, or they're going to fatten their distributors before they try to fatten the people themselves.
Let me ask you this. Do you think you see an ETB for under 90 ever for Black Bolt White Flare?
Under 90? Yes.
Under 80?
I would say you will be able to find, and this, because somebody's going to be all technical about this, some semantics, Walmart, Target, they're going to drop releases. They're going to drop, ETBs, but they're not going to drop them for $40 or $50 anymore. I think we're going to be looking at a new $60 to $75 mark. Probably for the next 5 months or so, you will not find an ETB for under, I'm going to say $75.
What we're saying here, chat, is if you find an ETB for $80, $85, $70, buy it. If you want it, buy it, because that's a decent price. Don't go buy something for $100. Definitely don't go buy something for above 100. That makes, you will find something for cheaper than 100. But I think if you find something in that $70 to $80 range and you really want a set, just grab it. If you could afford it, grab it.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't want to tell you guys to buy anything. The only thing I will tell you guys, if you ask me, I'll tell you exactly what singles I think you should be buying right now. But as far as sealed product, I mean, I'm just...
Yeah, it's tough.
It's
sealed product's rough out there, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it, right? And I know a lot of people are thinking the same thing. But again, Black Bolt White Flare, don't feed too much into the hype. I hope you guys don't see this as us feeding too much into the hype, because that's not what we want. We're more, skepticism, speculation. Dude, I want to be a little real when we talk to people about this, and I do think $75 is going to be the new norm, because you see Dick's Sporting Goods. Did you see Dick's Sporting Goods selling Prismatic Evolutions for $140 in ETB? Did you see that? I hope y'all saw that. Yes, but that's what I'm talking about. I think we're going to start seeing a new norm of increase in prices for distributors to fatten their pockets from Pokemon, and we just have to pay a higher price.
The hype is real for Black Bolt White Flare. I think there's reasons to be excited about it. I think it's going to be an amazing set. Celebrate your wins, right? If you find stuff at MSRP, definitely celebrate that. Do not feed into scalpers, and there will be a time to buy. I actually don't think it's at release at all. I think if you could get stuff at MSRP at release, great. If you need to buy something, keep it low, keep it light, because there is going to be a chance at the start of next year to get some Black Bolt White Flare.
100%. No, I think you and I are in complete agreement about that, and I think I hope you guys, are taking this with a grain of salt, but also preparing yourselves for just being patient. And I hope the patience is paid off, especially with some cards from the Sword and Shield era. Okay, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right. Yeah, there you go. I'm telling you, you guys are. You're in for a wild ride.
Oh man, and with again, we've talked about this a lot, but the whole timeline here of next February will be Pokemon Day. They realistically talk about Gen 10. Legends Z to A on the Switch is coming out in October, November. I mean, there is no better time, frankly, to be a Pokemon fan, but it's probably the worst time to be in the Pokemon community.
Yeah,
I won't lie. I think stay tight. Find the people you love. Find the homies, because there's going to be a lot of individuals in this space that are going to try and rip you off, con you. They don't even care about the hobby. They're here to make money. Take it with a grain of salt. I do think that Black Bolt White Flare is a great set. I think there's a lot of things to be really excited about for Pokemon, and I'm excited, but I'm also keep that excitement a little bit tempered, because that's when you start making bad decisions.
That is some great advice. And Genelac, I don't think we can follow that up with anything else, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so very much for joining us on episode 6 of Critical Hits. We love you all. Thank you very much once again. My name is Pokey Scout.
I'm Genelac Gaming.
And this is Critical Hits.
I ultimate punched that time.
Y'all take care.